Hi guys, I hope you're doing well. Today I'm going to tell you the story of one of the most talked about mysteries on the internet, and I guess part of the reason is so mysterious and so curious. If you're a fan of true crime mystery stories, please subscribe to our channel and turn on all notifications. So before further to delay, let's get into today's story. It was August 2013 when everything began. Late one night, Brandon was driving alone on Highway 277 after getting into a serious argument with his fiancée. He was supposed to be heading to his parents' house to cool off. At the time, no one believed this drive would turn into something far more disturbing. Kyle already knew why Brandon was on Highway 277 that night. Earlier, he had spoken with their parents and learned that Brandon had gotten into a serious argument with his fiancée. The plan was simple. Brandon was supposed to cool off at their parents' house for the night. That was the only reason he was driving so late. As far as Kyle understood, this wasn't some emergency situation. It was just his younger brother trying to escape the consequences of his own bad decisions. Kyle also believed Brandon was probably high. Because of that, Kyle knew there was no point in trying to reason with him. Telling Brandon that there were no men chasing him, that it was just paranoia, would only make things worse. Instead, Kyle focused on keeping him calm. In his mind, Brandon wasn't in danger. He was just experiencing a hallucination. But Brandon didn't calm down. His breathing became faster, his voice more panicked. He kept insisting that three men were getting closer, that they were following him, that he didn't have much time left. The more Kyle tried to slow him down, the more frantic Brandon became. Eventually, Kyle asked the question he had been avoiding. He asked Brandon if he had relapsed, if that was the real reason all of this was happening. Brandon immediately denied it. He swore he was sober. He insisted this was real. Then he begged Kyle to come get him, right now, before the men caught up to him. Brandon's desperation only grew. He pleaded for gas, for help, for any chance to escape. At that point, Kyle felt drained. Part of him wanted to hang up and walk away from the chaos. He had his own life, his own responsibilities, and he was tired of constantly cleaning up after his brother. But no matter how frustrated he felt, Kyle couldn't bring himself to abandon him. Beneath the resentment, there was still love. And even though he didn't believe Brandon was in real danger, he stayed on the line. Because if something did happen, he knew he'd never forgive himself. So that was all for today. Let me know in the comments about Kyle and Brandon. See you in the next story.